Hi guys, and welcome to this exclusive special episode about goalkeepers. I'm here with Sonja, who's a little bit of an expert on goalkeepers and especially LaLiga goalkeepers. So we're here to speak about goalkeepers. Fun fact is, did you know this, that there's only 2 teams in La Liga where all the goalkeepers comes from the youth academy of that specific team?
Well, I have to say that I did know because you introduced me as a goalkeeper expert. So let's hear about those 2 teams.
Those 2 teams are Celta de Vigo and Atlético de Bilbao. So that's mainly our talking points today. And we're going to start with Celta because right now we're at the Celta de Vigo training ground here in Vigo called Amadroa. And behind us, we're not allowed to watch them, but we can hear them. It's Celta training with their goalkeepers as well. So, and they have given us a gift, you could say, or we got to borrow it. And it is these. These are the gloves of Celta's first choice keeper, Sergio Alvarez. It's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
And we can, starting looking at them, it says Gato Catoria. I have no idea if I said that correctly, so sorry anyone from Galicia. It is the village he's from, and Gato means cat. And another one is his name. So that's really cool. So you can have a glove on you. I can have a glove on me.
I'll take the Gato glove.
If you're gonna speak about goalkeepers, you need to have a glove on your hand. That's how it works.
That's a new rule from now on.
New rule. So let's start to speak about Sergio Alvarez. I think that's a good starting point.
He, by giving us his gloves, deserved to be the #1 talking point.
He does. So Sergio is from here, from Galicia. He's from the Celta Youth Academy, as his other 2 goalkeepers in Celta, who are Ivan Villar, who is the 3rd choice, and the 2nd choice, who is Ruben Blanco, who we're going to get to in a little bit. But a cool talking point about Sergio is that he wants to become a coach. So there is a chance this is going to continue here at Celta with more good goalkeepers. So he actually spends time sometimes with the youth teams here. What do you think about that?
I think that that's a really good way to bring goalkeeper legacy through to the club, especially a club that has this tradition of focusing on its keepers from a youth level, bringing them through, keeping them, and kind of giving them confidence to go through. So I think the fact that he's goalkeeping but already interested in working with the younger keepers is a great way to continue something that Celta should be very proud of.
The other 2 keepers are very young, both of them. Sergio is 32, so it's quite normal goalkeeping age. Ruben Blanco is the 2nd choice. He's only 23 years old, made his debut for Celta de Vigo when he was 17 in La Liga. And the 3rd choice, who's Ivan Villar, he is 21. Sorry about that. He's 21 years old. He made his debut when he was 19. If we speak about that young age of playing in La Liga as a goalkeeper, it's a very young age for a goalkeeper, isn't it?
It is. I mean, for a long time, the narrative of goalkeepers in Spain and also beyond, maybe even especially outside of Spain, has been that goalkeepers are like fine wine, that they get better with age. And what we're seeing, I think, especially this year, but recently, is that keepers also flourish when they're given a chance to start early, and when they're kind of given the confidence to see that it's not just a case of experience in goal, but of talent from a very young age. And we're seeing that all throughout La Liga, I think, with a lot of very young keepers making the mark. We'll talk more about that later.
and for one question as well, when we look at Celta de Vigo, if we look at last season, Ruben Blanco actually played more matches in La Liga than Sergio did. He played 22, I think, and Sergio played 17. This season, Sergio is again the 1st choice, which he was when last season started. He's been the previous seasons as well. But I think in here it's more 2 keepers that get the chance than in most clubs. What do you think about giving those chances to Ruben and when he performs to let him keep playing?
I mean, I think, yeah, Celta had a very, very balanced kind of situation there last year, with one playing 22 and the other playing 17 matches. But I think it's a case of giving the goalkeeper a chance to be consistent as long as possible and kind of let that level of confidence stay. And then having a good backup, who in this case is Ruben, who, if your first choice is injured, if for whatever reason you see a dip of kind of form and confidence, you have a strong backup who can get in goal and who you don't have to worry about to be your second goalkeeper, and who can easily turn into the first if he kind of rides the wave of form.
And one last question before we go on to our next topic. If you were Ruben Blanco, would you stay at Celta de Vigo in this situation? Or would you try to go to another club where you would play more regularly and be a first choice keeper in LaLiga, for example, because he's obviously at that level?
I mean, I think the stats from last season give him a reason to stay and to kind of prove to the club that he has those matches from last season under his belt, and that's quite enough to prove in training like the one behind us now that he can be first goalkeeper as well. And
should this guy be worried?
Well, he should be worried. We have his gloves, so he might not get them back.
So we don't really know what he's doing in training because he doesn't have his gloves. We got them. So
maybe it's shooting practice. Maybe he'll be taking penalties from now on.
Yeah.
Maybe we inspired him by taking his gloves. Who knows?
The other club we spoke about, which is Atlético de Bilbao in the Basque Country, there it's not as surprising, I guess, that they have free goalkeepers from the youth academy, as they have this policy of only having Basque players. But it's been an interesting situation at Athletic this season, because I think most of us were a little bit worried for them when they lost Kepa this summer. What has happened at Athletic? Because
Athletic has had quite a start to the season in a lot of ways, but like they've suddenly become a goalkeeper focus, not just of Spain, but like all of football in Europe. Suddenly, the world has heard of Athletic Bilbao's goalkeeper academy strength by Kepa making that record goalkeeper signing and moving off to Chelsea. And I think that's been a fantastic... I mean, there's been so much talk about footballer fees in general, and goalkeepers have kind of always been very low in prices there. And suddenly you have an 80 million signing from the Premier League, and for Kepa Arrizabalaga, and suddenly all of England especially is talking about Bilbao keepers, and I think that's great for Bilbao's kind of record and form getting out to the world. And the thing is that the question mark in Bilbao was what's going to happen now. I mean, so much was built around Kepa staying at the club, actually. And then when he didn't, the question was who's going to be number one?
Who was supposed to be number one?
Well, that's the thing. Herrerín was supposed to be number one.
But what happened?
He got injured. And then, who was supposed to be number two? Alex Romero was supposed to be number two.
What happened?
He didn't renew his contract.
And this feels like a big goalkeeping crisis.
Listen.
And still we're speaking about an Athletic goalkeeper that's probably the one who's made most noise of all goalkeepers in La Liga this season.
So here's the thing. When Alex Romero didn't renew his contract because he thought he had some leverage there, you know who did renew this contract? Unai Simón.
Unai Simón. And he wasn't even supposed to be at Athletic this season, right?
So Simón, in the pecking order of Athletic's goalkeeper universe, was fourth, and with Kepa first. Kepa left. We know what happened to Herrerín. We know what Romero thought because of Kepa's leaving, that he'd be able to kind of leverage more from his contract there, and he didn't sign. And Unai Simón, who was sent on loan to Elche, who was all the way in the Segunda and in the B team in a lot of ways, suddenly warped up, rocketed up to first place, and has had a fantastic start to the season.
I don't think Real Madrid are a big fan of him.
Neither are Barcelona, really,
Neither
are Betis and Joaquin. So, I mean, he has impressed, and the thing is that he's a very young keeper as well. He's only 21 years old. And the thing is that he makes himself big in goal, and he plays with the experience of that old narrative.
He plays with confidence, doesn't he?
He plays with confidence, and you saw that in the match against Real Madrid and Barcelona as well. He has no respect for those forwards and those attackers who he's probably read and heard about from before he even started playing.
So let's move on to our third talking point that we have not said anything about yet. But Sonja is not just a goalkeeping expert. She's also from Serbia. What? So we have to ask about the Serbian keepers in La Liga. And there's two, right?
There is two.
There is one who's been extremely good, and it's one who is taking, I guess, the spot as the first choice keeper. It's true. At Eibar and at Huesca, our Blaugrana teams.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about the Serbian
I just
mafia.
have to say one thing before we move on to the Serbian goalkeeper mafia, and that is about another fantastic goalkeeper in La Liga, Jan Oblak. And now Jan Oblak isn't from Serbia, I understand that. He's from Slovenia.
Important.
Fun fact, my favorite fun fact about Jan Oblak is that his last name in Serbian, in Slovenian, similar languages, means cloud. Like up there, clouds. I mean, there's no clouds
There is
now.
no clouds here.
There is no clouds, but imagine that there are clouds. Cloud. Oblak means cloud, and I think that La Liga Lowdown from now on, and this is my humble opinion as a guest, needs to start using the cloud emoji whenever you mention Oblak, and I feel like you'll be mentioning him a lot.
I'm gonna write it down here. It's a little bit difficult with the glove, but
Oblak means cloud.
I'll send this through to the rest of the
last
team.
Name ever. Maybe not as cool as Arizabalaga, but there.
There we go. Serbian goalkeepers that are actually Serbian. Please.
Now diverted me back to my actual topic, which is Serbian goalkeepers. So we have Marko Dmitrović at Eibar, who has had a fantastic last season when he signed for the club. And the thing is that Dmitrović, and somebody tweeted this, which I actually thought was really funny, that since Marko Dmitrović shaved his head, he's bald, he has become a out of this world good shot stopper, especially, and he's gained confidence.
Are we saying it's all in the hair?
It's all in the hair. It's always all in the hair. So since he shaved his head and got rid of that hair, he's grown in confidence like I've not seen many players grow in confidence. And the thing is that Marko Dmitrović was actually pronounced Eibar's best player of last season. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
And he was Serbia's Serbia's first goalkeeper was Vladimir Stojković from Partizan, and Dmitrović and Rajković, who's the other Serbian keeper, were kind of equal at number 2 and 3, and neither got a chance to play, but some of the interviews we did with the team there showed his level of confidence. The fact that he wasn't playing at the World Cup didn't change his mind about himself as a keeper, and we've already seen that at the start of this season, where he has let in some goals against on fire Sevilla, for example, but he debuted with Eibar with a 1-1 draw against Atlético Madrid and made some fantastic saves there. In my opinion, was the man of the match. And I think that Eibar have their future and their current situation with goalkeepers set with Marko Dmitrović in goal.
And then we have Huesca, who is a team who's let in the most goals in La Liga. They let in 17 goals. So they've decided to switch their goalkeeper. And who has stepped in?
That is true. So, Aleksandar Jovanović, another goalkeeper coming to us all the way from Denmark. So he was at Aarhus at AGF, and he actually set in his last season for in the Danish Superliga, he set a record for the amount of time without conceding a goal, which was 423 minutes. Quite a long time.
Huesca could need that, to be honest.
Huesca
they could need that.
And the thing is that he was supposed to be, he signed for the club before the start of the season, of course, but he actually got injured in training with the Serbian national team when he was called up for the UEFA Nations League. And that's why he didn't start from the beginning, and that's why Huesca has such a bad record.
So Barcelona would never have won with, what was it, 8-2, 8-1, if it had not been for this injury.
That is very true.
So now everything is going to change in La Liga, and Huesca is probably going to win it.
All you really need is a Serbian in goal, and life becomes very good.
But now I see that the time is running out, so we have to leave our mics because we have to go and practice and Celta training with a new goalkeeper. So.
Bye, guys.